Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man, I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
What I missed. All right, so hey, yo, that intro was, first of all, there was a lot going on in that intro, and I'm gonna still fool with the boards while I do this, because the board, as you can't see, it's off camera. All the production stuff is underneath the chyron, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Taking No Shorts podcast, episode 95. It is probably more episodes than 95, but by the time this gets to you at the first week of June or going into the second week of June, you know, we gonna just go say the world knows this is episode 95, but the real G's or the real people that rock with me know that we've been at this thing for quite a long time. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do, because it's Gemini season, you know.
Exactly.
And day is going nuts. It was Taurus season, the last season, my birthday, my son's birthday, my sister's birthday, friend's birthday. Taurus season was rocking real hard, but I would be remiss if I didn't recognize, at least, and don't get your panties in a bunch, but you know, I will, you know, the season right behind mine, these Geminis that then came into what the astrological folks, they are coming into season or bloom. I don't know what the astrological that word is for it, but like, it's, you know, what this episode is gonna be everywhere, y'all. But I promise you, I will get to it because my ADD ain't kicking in yet. We're gonna talk about what happened in DC. We're gonna talk about Lil Wayne album dropping. We're gonna talk about what I've been seeing coming through my algorithm, because it's Taking No Shorts. I get to give y'all my own personal take on those. But those are the two main things. One main thing that I want to talk about, and it's gonna branch off to a little bit. But let me get into the Geminis. First of all, you Geminis need to pick which. Oh no, you don't got to pick because you're a Gemini. You can't pick, right? But you need to announce which twin somebody you dealing with is dealing with. That's how it is, you know.
Exactly.
Because we don't know when we're talking to you and when we run up on you, male, female, anybody, we don't know you're effing Gemini. We don't. Okay? So the first thing Geminis do, if the opportunity arises, they will say, "Oh, you know, a real one." I can't, because they're gonna be like you. You can't tell me nothing about a Gemini. All right, and I can't. That's true. But what they're gonna say is, "Wait a minute, how you gonna ask us, people born between a certain period of time and a myriad of time, that we can't, that we got to do this?" Well, I'm gonna tell you, sons of guns.
Talking about practice.
Yeah, hold on.
Holy Jesus.
I might be a little bit over with the boys tonight, and shout out to everybody that's watching anywhere where you find your favorite podcast, but mainly YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or at Taking No Shorts podcast. They're gonna be like, how you gonna tell us? We need to announce that we Geminis? Yes, goddamn it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Honey, tripping.
All day long. There's two people in one body. Okay? I'm a Taurus. It's one Taurus in one body. So when I present, because that's a big word in the new millennium, I guess, when I present myself as a cis male in a Taurus body, that kind of preps people, that kind of let them know, y'all Geminis will not announce that they're Geminis until the other person, the other party, the other personality comes out. And then they say, I'm a Gemini, right? I can flip this on you, right? I could get buck wild with it, right? After they've been calm and steady for most of your life.
Exactly.
And X amount of times go by, and they be like, I'm a Gemini. You probably celebrated birthdays during the season of that Gemini season. And you're like, I'm not thinking about, my wife is like that. She's like, yo, I do not buy into that zodiac shit. And I kind of buy into, I kind of believe her, because you can't control when, if you, depending on how you see the universe, like you can't call when you coming out. Pause. When you coming into the world. You dig? So it's a random event, honestly, if you think about it. But needless to say, it's Gemini season. I'm gonna get off this Gemini shit because I done seen and met and dealt with enough to know y'all BS crazy. And that's not it is bat-ish. Two personalities in one. That's almost segue into a lot of stuff with that. But let me get some Gemini shout outs out the way already. Shout out to my Uncle Mark. Rest in heaven, rest in peace, rest in paradise. Is a Gemini. He's celebrating his heavenly birthday today. So let's go ahead and let me first fix the volume, Mark, because spirits don't die if they have not even if spirits don't they don't go away, is what I like to say. They don't. What they do is, if the dash that they put on this plane, if the dash meant something to you, if they did something that impacted that dash, that this small world said they were here, then that spirit is always going to be around, and it will never die. Botchamania, Matthew, it's a wrestling term, and if you're online and if you watch, so I'm giving him shout outs, but as a content creator, he's way bigger than me. So, he uses a Terry Funk snippet, and that's an editing thing. But, he says wrestling. Terry Funk did a promo, said wrestling will live on forever, right? And let me fix my mic. My microphone has been acting up lately, so I got to fix I think it's the plug. So I apologize for the audio, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I'll get that together next episode 96. But what makes me think about forever is the spirit. If it impacted you, if it made you recall, if it made you feel some kind of way, and it wasn't negative, but it was straight positive, that's a spirit that's gonna be in you. So to my Uncle Mark,
That nigga's tripping.
he would say that.
Exactly.
Happy heavenly birthday, Unc. I'm gonna share a story with you so I could give you your flowers during this episode of Taking No Shorts podcast right after I get the rest of the Geminis out the way. So I got a shout out to the cousin John.
Exactly.
Cousin John is 1/3 of not taking no shorts. I'm sorry, ain't no half stepping. Make sure y'all check that out. It's been out there. They're kind of in a hiatus right now, but he's on ain't no half stepping. I gotta fix this mic. What is going on with this microphone? Oh, there's a lot of folks gonna be like, "Yo, nigga, you sound real." All right. But shout out to John from Ain't No Half Stepping and Legacy Internet Radio. He hit me up early on the. I'd say no, it was late. It was either over the weekend or late last week. It was like, yo, a mutual brother of ours, Marcus J. He a Gemini. He was like, yo, we're gonna go to our water and whole day spot. I need you to show up. And I was like, bet, I'm gonna show up. Because he was out of town, so I think he wanted me to be. What's the congressional word for that? It's a word for that. This is when you get to be a Black Gen Xer. Shit sometimes escapes you. Oh my God, what's that word? You proxy. Boom, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you. He was like, yo, I need you to be my proxy because I'm out in the Caribbean somewhere. And I need you to be my proxy at our mutual homeboy's birthday. And you know where you're going to be. That's his water. I call him the Norm of this place because it's a place here in RVA or Richmond, Virginia that he frequents after work, happy hour type shit. So I was just like, man, you know, Mark my brother, man. You know, and so I'm gonna be there, you know. Fuck the fact that is this an off camera? Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna do that. I'm about to hit the yak off camera. This is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's so big they don't need no more publicity. So it's Coca-Cola. It's a great glass for Coca-Cola. But I was just like, John, yeah, I'll be there, bro. Cause me and him have the same last name. I was like, I'll be there. And what you see, because I don't think Marks knew that we was gonna be there. I think he knew the regulars gonna be there, but he didn't think like I was gonna be there, or he didn't know why I was there. I mean, he knew why I was there, but anyway, it was a pleasure to be there for that man's birthday and celebrate with him and his friends at his local water and hole. But he a Gemini, and you just don't know. You just don't. You Geminis, please. I'm gonna hashtag the episode. Hashtag it's Gemini season, but you just don't know how they rock. Because sometimes, well, you know, I know you long enough. 25 plus years, I know you long enough, bro. Like, depends, you know. But he'll stand up, brother, and we gave him his flowers. So for all the Geminis, and then my older son's season coming up, all the Cancer. So I mean, personality traits with the zodiacs and all that throw us back to the 70s. You dig? As a Gen X, I know what it is, but you know, it gives you something to claim or to hold on to that's special. You know, it gives you almost like a tribe. I mean, it don't give you this type of tribe, but yeah, it don't. But it gives you another tribe. If we disown you, if a tribe disown you, give you another tribe you can claim. So whoever came up with that, I want to say it was Isaac Newton, some white man. Speaking of white man, I can't even say it exactly for that, but
Holy Jesus.
first week of June, ending the first week of June, by the time this come out, I don't know what the hell will transpire. And ever since November 5th of 2024, I decided I was not, I had, the night of November 5th, I checked out. When I say I checked out of the main, I checked out of the main media outlets coverage of politics, because I being a history and political science major, notice I didn't say graduate.
Talking about practice.
Graduate, right? I said major, or studied or matriculated towards. I knew what that was all about. Until I thought I knew what that was all about until, and that flipped a switch in my head. And if you go back in the archives, and I'm sure it's out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, IG, some clips or whatever, social media of, and oh, by the way, you can catch that at Taking No Shorts Pod. That's TAKINNO SHORTSPOD, and at Jay Grizzo. That's JAYGRIZZO. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, IG, Instagram. Thank you. When you drink carbonated drinks, you got to belch. But yeah, I was November 5th, and I did an episode June 28th, 2024. It was my oldest son's birthday, and I did an episode. It was the first debate, a live stream. I remember calling my homeboy Carlton Banks. It was like, yo, jump on a live stream. We had some technical issues because, to me, not even a lay, but I knew that debate was going to be, under the circumstances, very, very important, crucial. And once that debate happened, I was on full oh shit mode. I was on. I know I got a oh shit over here. Hold on. That's not it. No.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I was on that mode, June 28th, 2024. And the reason why I was on that mode is because I'm paying attention. I'm just, we can go back and forth about why I'm paying attention, but and there's a way you can go into the local level of how you can affect the politic. But I was just like, oh. I'm looking over that because we in big trouble. And so what I immediately did was exercise my Second Amendment rights.
Talking about practice.
Exactly.
That's what I did. As soon as I've been doing it, but I'm just saying. No, I'm not just saying. After that, I made sure. The rounds, the supply of rounds went up, but the price of rounds went up. Anyway, I knew we was in trouble as a whole, as a country. From my point of view, not nobody else's. This is my podcast. This is my take. This is Taking No Shorts with your boy Jay Grizzly Green, aka Mr. Leave No Meat on the Biz Zone, and you can come up under these comments with that other stuff if you want to. But I know the algorithm not going to even let y'all, it's just not even going to land on y'all radar. Y'all so far gone. It was, y'all is too far off the reservation to where y'all not gonna get it. And I know I say y'all because I live in a place where y'all is a pronoun, and some places of the universe don't say y'all. The Martians, the whoever. I'm doing I can't even do the Mr. I used to could do the Mr. Spock. There it is. I'm catching a cramp in my goddamn hand as we speak, but I'm doing the Mr. Spock. Nanu or the Mork and Mindy, the Nanu. The scissor shit. Anyway, I'm dating myself. But this first week of June, shit hitting the fan. It ain't been 6 months yet into this new administration. And these kids, this is what happens when you have no supervision. When your parents just let you go into the sandbox. I'll give you a great example. This is when early 90s, I'm a young father. I take my kid to Chuck E. Cheese or to a place where there's that bouncy ball type play set, like jungle gym type shit. And there are some parents that ain't paying. They just take their kids. I ain't gonna say what type of parent. I'm not gonna do all that. But there are some parents that take their kids to like Chuck E. Cheese and to the plastic ball jungle gym type shit, and they just it's like me when I walk Obi. It's like, yo, or when I play with Obi, I was like, no, yo, I know you are super hyper. I know you is on one. So I'm gonna let you burn off this energy. We're gonna go in the field, we're gonna go out for a long walk, we're gonna go play, we're gonna go so I can get you to relax because I done did whatever I had to do. And the last thing I need you to do is to be on 30 when I get home. That's what I'm setting up for you guys. That's what the setup is. Because there are some people who have children in the 80s and 90s. That's what they did. They kids might have been off the reservation because they might have had some form of hyperactivity or whatever. Or they just, matter of fact, I'm not even going to put that psychobabble in it. I'm not. They was hyper. They were just being kids, and they needed some stimulation. They needed to let some steam off. Well, there were some parents that used Chuck E. Cheese to let that steam off, and they would just drop them in, go eat a pizza, and pray to God that by the time they get home. Exactly. Because that's what I do. I was like, yo, I'm gonna take my son to Chuck E. Cheese. He had a place where he liked, but it was the equivalent to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not gonna say the place because I don't even think they're around no more. But he loved it. But then there was but because I was the type of parent that, hey, if you want to go over there to play, fine. But my eye is on you. And I know I took and told you. That's a great
Exactly.
Southern, and that's showing my Southern thing because not a lot of folks know what took and told means. I'm gonna save that. Took and told. Okay, I don't care if it came from 1619, 1719, 1819, 1865, or 1919, or 2019. I don't care. When we say when your mama or your auntie or your grandmama tell you, and you from Baltimore down south, or south of Baltimore down, and say, I done took and told your black ass. The left, don't come for me saying, that's a way to keep us in line and all that. That's not what I'm going. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about people that care about you and love you have your best interests at heart. So my son, he goes to this kids playground. He see the balls in the play set or whatever. And he like, I want to get in. I want to go play, Dad. I'm like, all right, go ahead. But I am going to see everything you're doing, and whoever comes within, we all know the radius, within your personal space. I don't pay attention. It's Coke Zero, by the way, because I got sugar. But there are some parents that don't do what I do, and they just let Bobby run amok. And that's what is happening in the political world this week, first week of June 2025. Like, when you have people that allow you to run amok, or when you even live in America and you come up in a system that people allow you, or whether you're born into a system where people have allowed you to run amok, you have no idea. There is no rails. There is nothing that can prevent you from, there's no restraint. There's no parameters for you. Everything is available for you to do. Everything. When I say everything, shout out to the West Indies.
Exactly.
And so, and I was watching, I don't know my algorithm, and I'll get to my algorithm in a minute, but there's stuff that over the 21780 to 2020, so let's say 245 years, I think 2028 is when we get to 250. I don't know. The United States gets to a certain they gonna celebrate. We gonna celebrate. And this is what has been happening in Washington, D.C. It's like we are witnessing like two kids in a play, or in a sandbox, or in a place because that's how they look at it. You have to break. To me, I'm not saying they look at it. I don't know, and I don't want to know how these sons of guns are looking at anything, because it is not anywhere in my universe. None.
Exactly. I'm a man. I'm 40.
But what is? I mean, and what are we really talking
about? Practice.
What is the country really saying when we are here? And it's unique. I'm gonna give you some. I'm not gonna give you. I'm just gonna say this. I was a history and political science major. Never graduated. Never got the letters behind it, but I studied this thing for 30 years of my life. And I'm a black Gen Xer, you dig?
Exactly.
30 plus years. And I've got a unique experience because I is who I say I is. My wife her head is turning like the Exorcist right now to hear me say the English that I just said. I love you, honey, and thank you for rocking with me. But no, look, what are we doing, guys? This is unique because it has never been a time in this country's history where we had two numbskulls. Whether they're the richest man in the world, somebody might say that they are the richest man in the world, but what's rich? I think Bob Marley said it in an interview. It might have been the BBC. It might have been, something that I saw on whatever. But he's like, what's rich to you? Rich to me might have a hell of a big difference in the value than rich to you. So when I'm paying attention to everything that's going down, and this is after checking out of what the majority of the world is doing before November 5th, I'm like, yeah, what's rich to y'all is not what's rich to me. So I see it a different way, and it's my. This is what I say. It's my right. I have the right to see it how I want to see it. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing different. Nobody. Short of the Almighty saying this, and even because I know who I is, the Almighty ain't even gonna say this shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I drank to that. So when you see two numbskulls going at it, first of all, the folks who didn't buy into the craziness knew that was fitting to happen. It was just a matter of when. And now that it's happening, we just sitting back. I saw a post. Somebody said the internet on. I even hate to say the platform because. And let me be clear before I continue. Just because this is happening, don't make one party holier than the other. Both are.
Talking about
A bullshit?
Both of them are full of.
A bullshit?
Yeah.
A bullshit?
Thank you. I mean, what astonishes me, it doesn't astonish me. What saddens, what brought clarity for me was that the majority of the voting public, and that might be called into question considering, I'm going to just leave that part there, but just the majority of the voting public bought that. It was like, yep, I'm with it. So somebody that looked like me, I said, and somebody who's plugged into the history, to the politics and the history of politics and how all of that works, man. So I put in my little show rundown here. I ain't dropping no names because I try not to. Because if you know what I know and I'm not saying I know everything. Trust me, I just told y'all I'm a college dropout. I don't know that shit. But just because you got a BS, a MS, a BA, MA, and a D, whatever, a doctor, and all that, That's how we got into this situation as a country. You know, you got the haves and the have-nots. In the middle is kaputs. Well, I know one thing. I don't want to be on the have-not side. I don't. And I know because of you might say, they might say, the world might say, the people that's in power might say, well, you can get but so far to the haves, but you squeezing out everything else. Like this shit is fugazi, man.
Talking about practice.
A bullshit?
I mean, and I forgot the name of the channel I saw on YouTube, but they spoke about this a little bit in regards to the Gilded Age, where in the late 19th century, where you had Chase, Carnegie, who Chase was the banker, Carnegie was the steel guy, and whoever ran the railroads, Rockefeller.
Exactly.
Same thing. Same fucking thing. And the way it will, I won't say turn, it's not to balance it out, is you had the progressive movement, you had against the monopolies and all that. And if you don't learn from history, you will repeat it. Human behavior says you can't. I mean, that's just me at Taking No Shorts Pod. It's my platform, so I'm gonna say it. I don't want to apologize for anything that I'm saying on my shit. But if you do not learn from the past, you will repeat it. And human beings, if allowed to not learn, they're going to repeat it. And how they didn't learn is they found ways to say, well, you could get but so far, but you can't get this far. Like you got gatekeeping to the bread, gatekeeping to the connections, gatekeeping to this, gatekeeping to that. And that causes this cyclical type shit to happen. So, I really didn't want to talk about it, but I went before I started recording. I went to my wife and was like, yo, what's on the minds of the people? Because sometimes, like I said, I'd have checked the F out, and she was like, well, I ain't even in checking in, but I know this is, if it didn't bled into her algorithm, then it is a special thing. Look, I'm going to take my first break here at Taking No Shorts Podcast, episode 95. I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Gray, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bizone.
Exactly.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. But mainly, hey, if anything that I say tonight is entertaining that you are rocking with, I ask that you give me a subscribe on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@ Taking No Shorts Pod. I'm going to take my first break, and when we come back, I'm going to get into a little bit of an album dropping today, and then I'm going to get back to how we got here in this crazy first week of June 2025. This is your boy, Jay Grizzly Green, and I'll be right back. I got to find the right thing. Thanks for taking the time out to listen to Taking No Shorts Podcast. We'll be right back in just.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast, episode 95. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcasts, but also on the following streaming channels. If I can ever fix the underneath of this mic, I got a short somewhere. So when you self-produce it, it's 95. You would think I'd have got it straight by now, but excuse me, that's that carbonated drinks. Anywhere where you find your favorite podcast, but also Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Taking No Shorts Pod. That's spelled TAKINNOSHORTS, POD, and also at my personal page at Jay Grizzo, JAYGRIZZO, and my personal page, Jay Green. Might be a lot of Jay Greens out there, but that's just my nickname and my maternal grandfather's last name, because my daddy won't die.
Exactly.
All right. What to expect in episode 95, right? Or the second half of episode 95 is the following. Look, I did a lot of stuff today, and if you invest in this podcast, which I ask you to do by giving me a subscribe, I'm asking you, just give me a subscribe. It's not a lot. It doesn't take much. You just hit the subscribe button. You can hit the like, or you can even leave a comment. But what would really mean a lot to me and my family and my loved ones is if you give me a subscribe, gosh darn it. And they got us looking to have a plaque somewhere behind here or up here that looks platinum or silverish platinum or whatever. That's what they have us striving to do. But before I get into those let me first say I came home today from doing a lot of stuff, making money for my family, and making myself a better human being. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just chill out. And somewhere along the line, the marketing has worked. Whoever is doing the marketing for whoever putting, I want to say it's Cash Money, Young Money, whatever, but it ended up out here. Somebody said, yo, Lil Wayne dropping the Carter 6
Exactly.
today, January 6th. So 6/6. I mean, I didn't listen to it because it was June the 6th, but I listened to it because the DJ was like, yo, a DJ, I got in my car, went to make money for somebody else, and they was like, yo, Lil Wayne album drop. I was like, Lil Wayne, damn. Like, I'm a Gen Xer, so Lil Wayne is that millennial who, when I listened to hustler music, and he was on a skyscraper, and he had his New York trip bit. You know, he first had with the Hot Boys, and Cash Money had his down south, dirty south, New Orleans stuff. Then he had his New York stuff, and then he kind of meshed them to me, and that's just me. And don't, you know, if you want, I ain't gonna say come under the comment, but to me, like he brought Outkast and Jay-Z together. To me,
Exactly.
the producers he had on that album, I think it was 06, where it was Hustler's Music. It might be 04. I don't know. I don't even know what album was, and I ain't gonna fool with the boys and all that. But that's when I started taking them seriously, because I was like, oh, this nigga spitting.
Exactly.
I mean, but there's a meme out there that was like, oh, this nigga spitting. But somebody, either he or somebody in his camp was like, yo, if you want to, we can do this bounce, New Orleans, down south stuff, and that's great. It is, because I juke in Memphis with the best of them, you know. And but it's like, yo, if you want to go superstar, you got to go head to head, ball for ball with these cats. And at the time, those cats was Jay-Z, Eminem. Really, those are the two. And he was on that. He did give him credit. During that time, Jay was on his way on some other stuff. But once Jay left and Nas left, Lil Wayne was the best lyricist in my black gray Gen X head, hip hop head. I wasn't even. I mean, I wasn't no thug, but I was a backpacker. And I mean, to me, Lil Wayne was that guy. And not only was he that guy, he delivered like the lyrics, the flow, all that. So when I heard a DJ I'm going to pick up a sandwich somewhere for lunch, and they say, yo, Lil Wayne album dropping out. It was like an old school type of vibes. It was where the marketing, you get it from a radio DJ. Say, yo, Lil Wayne dropping. And it's almost crazy to think like Lil Wayne is almost one of those. There is no besmirchment on being a legacy or classic act type shit, because I listen and love my 70s, my yacht rock, it just means that we've gotten older. That's why I can't credit the person I heard the quote from, but you know, they just like they got adult contemporary, they got to have an adult contemporary hip hop. Hip hop has been around since the early 70s, and here we are 50 some odd years later, and all we got is hip hop. There's no besmirchment on Cardi B. I love Cardi B. My wife loves Cardi B. Like Cardi B, I remember when Cardi B came out on the VH1 Love and Hip Hop joint. Everybody was hating on her. I was like, yo, that's a she a real one. Even if she came out of the strip joint, the adult entertainment element. Like I was like, yo, for me, I know her. I know somebody like her, Dominican or not. I know somebody like her, you know. So I wasn't. Was a Sexy Red. The reason I do the sigh on Sexy Red is because now I feel like even now I'm at Unk stage, like I get Sexy Red, but I don't think the world gonna get Sexy Red, and that's the difference. Like I got when I was listening to Lil Wayne and in the early aughts, I was like, I get him, but I think the world gonna get him. And if you ever notice the way he put out his music, he did a joint with Eminem, and Eminem, a white rapper from Detroit. Nigga, that's gold. That's the Drake of, he just didn't sing, but I don't know, he had some harmonization in this shit. I'm going too musical, so I'm gonna get back to episode 95. My point is this. Lil Wayne album drop, I sat down, played the video game, played the music in the background to let it so if it's something that's going to jump out, it's going to jump out. And I'm going to tell you, stuff was starting to jump out for me. I was like, okay, so he not, in my opinion, as an opinion of the Lil Wayne album, the Carter 6, I mean, and I said little, but he Lil Wayne, but that's just his name. Like really, that's Wayne. Because that man probably, if he was born in the early 80s, that man probably 40 some odd years old. Ain't no way he Lil no more. He might have been a little 20 years ago, but not today. I can tell you that.
Exactly.
But I can hear in the music choice that he wanted to flow to, I could hear like I could hear the sounds. I think he had an Italian opera singer, Andrea Bocelli, who did the Ave Maria in the background. And the reason why the Ave Maria is big time to me is because me and my wife fell actually in love listening to the Ave Maria off of Step Brothers.
Exactly.
Fucking Catalina rhyme mixing. That's one thing, honey, you can give me my flowers for. I took you on a date to go see Step Brothers. Shit. That's one thing. If you might not say a lot about me, but at my home going, whether wherever how it gonna be, and I don't want to get too morbid, but I want you to put in there. He took me on a date to see Step Brothers, and I heard Ave Maria for the first time. All right, so shout out to Lil Wayne. Make sure you go check out his album. I took probably 10 minutes of the podcast to tell y'all that before I go into this. And the reason I say that, and I'm trying to find a segue, I left the first half of the podcast with this thing going on between a wannabe fraudster politician / type dude and a megalomaniac type dude. And the Chiron says I want to say, it's not a hashtag. I'm just reading what's right here. We are living in a crazy time is an understatement. It's an understatement. I gave you a little bit of background about who I is, and when I studied and went to college for history and political science, but this time is not new to the United States of America. There was a time where we dealt with people who had power when it came to a capitalistic type of power. Because that's different than power in a communist or one party, or that's some totalitarian socialist type of thing. This is an amalgamation of fascism and technocratism that I, in my years, never seen, and the United States has never seen. And so that's what we're dealing with, right? And to see it from my perspective, and I'm just trying to explain to the audience what my perspective is, I'm not predicting anything because I couldn't. I had my feelings and intimates into November 5th, pulling for the other party just like anybody else, But when it didn't happen in 16 and didn't happen then, it makes certain people look at it different and turn. I wanted to say turn. I stopped in the middle of turn because I want to segue to that's what's happening. They turning on each other. And that's what happens when you get people who not doing stuff for the people.
Exactly.
You end up insulating and worried about yourself before you worry about anybody else. Or you think, I won't say word is the wrong word. You're not thinking about nobody else but yourself as you insulate. And so what that does is creates it's a me or you type situation. Black folk been on a me or you type situation for a minute. We just ain't had the power to do nothing about it. And that's the part that we do.
Exactly.
But that's all this is. But let's For a moment in episode 95 of Taking No Shorts podcast with your boy Jay Grizzly Gray, aka Mr. Lee, know me on the bone. Let's go a different layer. These are two men, ain't no women in the place. Two white men thinking they could play with other people. Somebody told them they could do that, and they believe it. And so they go out to perpetuate that. They go out of their way to perpetuate that I got some type of whole power dominion over you. Whether you look like me, I can find a way because I'm stealing, I'm making more money, I'm finagling, I'm finessing people to give me more capital than you, even if you come from the same tribe as me. I'm going to find a way to manipulate you. I mean, obvious. It's obvious. But beneath those layers, there's a way that they can touch somebody like that. And that's called in the manosphere. Yes.
Exactly.
I'm gonna cut my exactly up, but y'all might not hear it because I'm back. You know, my sound in this episode might be a little. I'll put that at the comment below. But there are people who had access to capital. People had access to the resources. Let's say that. Let me be clear. White men had access to the resources. White men had access to the capital, and what they did was perpetuate that to the masses. But personally, dude, it's like I mean, I see through it. I think and for the most part, y'all call it the mainstream or the legacy media, but they pretty much got this one right. Like they calling y'all out on some childish, petty, little dick energy type shit. Pause. Because if you say you is who you say you is, you ain't got to go back and forth with nobody.
Exactly.
And that's just my opinion. That's just me. Jay Grizzly Green, aka at Jay Grizzle. If I got it like I said I do, you can say what the fuck you want. And I'm going to be Gucci, my G. I'm sorry. Let me bring it all back. Jay. But there are some who will latch on to that. And that creates that, as a dude, as a man, that creates that type of masculine energy that's negative. I keep hearing, I don't know, guys, here I am. I'm about to go there now. And this is how we got here with this situation in Washington. Like, that you could have, I want somebody that know me to say, well, yeah, he got that type of energy. But I don't want it to be negative. You know what I'm saying? And so what has happened is we're in an atmosphere or universe that says just because, and more men is what I'm speaking to. Let me tag the time for here. Like, this is what we have to do as men. More men have to step into the calling out of this.
Talking about practice.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
That's what we got to do. Because the powers that they think they got with the money and the politics makes them think like that makes them a man. And that's not what makes them men. That's not what defines them as men. And I'm a man. Now they might think that I know both of them think that I'm a lesser of a man, and that even of itself says enough about them. Or the pronouns, as Bruce Pritchard from a former WWE executive says, pronouns probably he's marking Vince McMahon. Pronouns. Like, if you gonna use a pronoun, call a motherfucker out. Don't use a he, she, they, or them. Say that person, that person's name. Call them out. Stand on business. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and be a whole ass nigga. Keep moving. Don't say anything at all. You got to call them out. Musk and Trump are not cut like everybody, like some people. I'm going to just say it like that. Because I know y'all going to say, yo, you say his name the whole night. They names the whole night. But they not cut like that. And I'm not saying that in a praising way. I'm saying that in a disparaging way. It's a negative. It's a negative. Whoever told them that because you accumulate a lot of wealth makes you the best or the biggest or the top dog in the building, and then I gonna say, or somebody say you get the most political power, you manipulate and lie and cheat and finagle your way to the top, fake it till you make it type shit, and that makes you the big dog. No, not in most of Americans' world. That don't make you the big dog. But somewhere along the line, y'all thought that was. And so that creates, being that we're in 2025 and all this technology and all this ability to do what I'm saying to you guys, to be real. My shit gonna get drowned out because there are people, there is companies out here to make sure that speech is suppressed and speech is turned up a notch. Saw something on my algorithm that said, I think it was from the Bulwark, and I forgot the guy's name, but he had an open letter to Elon Musk, right? He didn't show no fact to me in the video that this is true, but the way he presented it, in my common sense say this is probably more than likely true than not. If you control a big term platform in this environment, if you own it and you step into this arena, you have the ability to turn a knob and put up who you want to put up and put and suppress who you want to suppress, aka algorithm. Now, if you all don't believe that, that's a you problem. And honestly, I'm too old to wreck my mind on why you don't believe that. But that's okay. You ain't got to believe it. But where I come from and how I was read, it's so obvious. Why would you buy a platform that can give you the platform if you can't say what you want to say? And then you can manipulate the people based off of that, because people have followers. I ask you all to subscribe and follow and like and all that. The difference is I am telling you, even if it don't make me a red ass fucking cent, to like, share, subscribe. There are some people who will manipulate your feelings for a profit, and they have access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Patriot Act, they can access your phone. Then all this data sharing. Since then, they have the ability to see everything that you're doing because you're paying a cell phone bill each month. So I don't know what's the way out of this, Because by the time my algorithm got around to this manosphere, because let me talk about the manosphere real quick. Not even real quick. I'm gonna give this that red pill, blue pill shit. Because as soon as I clicked on one of those fucking videos, and I don't know, matter of fact, I'm lying on myself. I did not click on it. I did not. I had saw some content that had a content creator that was in that lane, and I didn't know. And the clip and the thumbnail or the title of the clip appealed to me, so I clicked on that, and then that opened up bigger than others, a whirlwind of shit. I was just like, how did I end up here? It's like Alice in Wonderland or Jay Grizzly in Wonderland. How, just because I wanted a double cheeseburger with bacon, onions, mustard, and a little bit of mayo, how the fuck did I end up here? That's what I said to myself. How did I end up here? Because now it's in me. It has something about what I was interested in got me there. So now it's in my consciousness, not in my brain, my physical brain. And that's what I want to tell the folks. Like, it's not in your physical brain, it's in your consciousness. This algorithm, this AI, this whatever, it's in your consciousness because it's going to show. I can tell. I mean, I'm just saying, like, whoever's on my network or whatever's gotten a hold of that, y'all doing a fucking tastical job. Especially on one of my, I'm not even going to say, but y'all doing a great job. And that's what they want. They make money off it because the more time you spend on it. But I didn't grow up in it, so I'm calling it out only because I'm a black Gen Xer.
Exactly.
I see what it is.
Exactly.
I enjoy it for what I can get from it.
Exactly.
And then I call out the hypocrisy and the bullshit.
A bullshit?
Of it. Like how it could trick motherfuckers. So everybody after me, my son who's a millennial, my nieces and my nephews who are millennials and Gen Zs or alphas, however y'all want to. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is tricking y'all. And by the time I'm gone, y'all go get out of a trick bag.
Exactly.
Y'all ain't gonna want no girl. Men don't even like women no more. What the fuck?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
A bullshit? A bullshit?
Y'all is in here popping balloons on a. I'm not. That's a separate. But y'all just doing the most, and that's because y'all don't know y'all being manipulated by a certain. I swear to God. I swear to my God. I didn't want to be the guy to be like on some conspiracy shit, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing for my life and the time that I'm here on this rock, going around one son,
Exactly.
around a gazillion sons,
Exactly.
in this great vast universe. Okay. And what I'm saying is that people know what pushes your buttons, and they lean, they dust their elbow, dust the rose, give you this shit. Boom. And they killing you with it. So what I try to teach my three sons is that, like, they know when I give a great example. When I was in a prepubescent 11, 12, 13, and we was watching Porky's or sneaking to see Cinemax through your fingers because your parents say cover your eyes, or why the fuck am I even in the room? Jesus.
Exactly.
Y'all know y'all watching some rated R shit. Why the fuck am I even in? You know what? To be fair to my folks, I knew they told me go to bed. I knew that they was watching something crazy, and I said I got to see that girl's titties. I got to see Vanity or Apollonia's titties when they was watching Purple Rain, and so. Always Coca-Cola, y'all can hit me up if I meet y'all standards to sponsor. I'm begging capitalists. But there are folks in place that know what rocks your boat, and they plan to make a shitload of money off of that. They do. Use OnlyFans for an example, right? I think I saw a number like 60. It might have been hundreds of billions of dollars are spent and distributed. By the time we get to the content creator, who knows? But through that company that owns OnlyFans, and that, I mean, if I was a 22-year-old man, first of all, 22-year-old American white male, by the time, the reason why it's blowing up like that is he feel like he can't get laid. Not me saying it. That's what the evidence is indicating. You know, there's a whole bunch of men out here. We live in America, but it's a whole bunch of white men out here hating on. I mean, just what is that? What is the word for a man that's hating on women that don't like women? For whatever the fucking reason is, I don't get it, because you came from one. You cannot put this on people of color. You don't, POCs. You can't put it on us, because y'all claim y'all want y'all. Why y'all hate women so much? Like, I just asked the question. How y'all fall so easily for that? Women are the reasons. I don't know. I'm just asking a question. I don't know how y'all gonna land on it. Y'all want to come on the comments and but what's real is real, man. What's true is true, and there are different shades of truth. Let me clean that up, because that sounds a little bit totalitarian. Like, believe me, because I know what's true. There are different shades. We all cannot have different facts. They are facts. You can't even get somebody on the other side to say, are we breathing oxygen, my nigga? Are we breathing oxygen? Because if not, I'm telling you, in 2025, they saying, no, you breathing something different because you got different nostrils. You breathing something different. And for that, off with your head. You can't cross the river. You can't cross the border. Saw a story the other day, or not the other day, tonight. Young guy on my feed. I don't know where he came from. He was talking about how, hey man, he wasn't. He was doing what we was doing back in the 60s. Like, we ain't even trying to rob and steal and kill, and y'all still trying to come for us. Like, that's what he was on. He was like, yo, my dad's a good dude. He worked. He come. I ain't even know when I came here at a certain age and then they try to come and take him. Like, what we doing?
Talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah, man.
Not a game.
Thank you, Bubba Chuck. They not talking about the big shit. They talking about the little shit and pushing buttons on people. I don't know how this technology thing is going to, I can't call it because I ain't in those rooms and in those circles. But I'm going to give you two things. If I'm not in those circles and in those rooms, I would tell my people, deal with what's real and not what's fugazi or bullshit.
Holy Jesus.
Yo, whoever brought you into this world, if they loved you, they gonna give you that Hakuna Matata, that chutzpah I'm using. They're gonna give you that shit to let you. They're gonna raise you to let you know when it's not right. That's one. That's Jay Grizzos at Taking No Shorts Pod on how to deal with the next 20, 25 years when it comes to this technology. Like, just stand on business, or people who cared about you, gave you good common sense, don't fall for it. Now, the other folks, other half of the world that's hearing me right now, that you is gonna fall for it or seeking it, where you want to be manipulated and you want to be controlled and want to be domineered over somebody. I remember that movie Her, Joaquin Phoenix. He actually was in a whole relationship with a fucking bot. I ain't even gonna hit no exactly for that. I watched the movie because it was interesting to me. Or Ex Machina, where the dude, the techno dude, secluded himself and made whole hoes out of robots for himself until the whole robot said, the robot pulled a Cassie. It was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. But the robot that left, like, because she looked real human. This is honestly, a great written movie. It had me on some other shit, and I was sober. That says enough.
Exactly.
But she integrated into the world, to the human world. So humans don't know. She could, to those people who sitting there making robots I know y'all gonna say we like this because society made y'all like this, but where I come from, y'all are some fuck niggas, and if you can't find a human connection and you looking for something else, I know what you're saying. That's an issue for humans to figure out, but that's some selfish shit. Because you're a human too. Okay? With that, I'm going to check out or sign. I'm not going to check out. Jesus Christ. I'm going to sign off. I'm just 95 episodes in, but I'm signing off here for Taking Those Shorts podcast, episode 95. Hey, again, make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast, Apple, YouTube. No, let me give you the podcasting channels. Apple, Spotify, anywhere where you find your favorite podcast, right? Because Apple, Spotify, everybody got, right? You got those type of phones. But for the video, you can catch it at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All at Taking No Shorts Pod. That's TAKINNOSHORTSPOD. And also the clips can be found at the YouTube, but also at my IG, Instagram, Instagram at Taking No Shorts Pod, and at Jay Grizzo. That's JayGrizzo. Shout out to Ern Turner, who gave me the Jay Grizzo moniker. We did a podcast in the early 2010s together, and he called me Jay Grizzo, so I was just like, I'll go with that. So that's where that name come from, if anybody's wondering. For me, my loved ones, I'm your boy, Jay Grizzy, and I'm in.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, gift stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding. I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.